When Insta360 asked me to test out their Ace Pro 2, I thought, excellent, there's nothing more that I want to do at my age than strap myself to a snowboard, jump off a mountain, come down for lunch, then jump out of a helicopter, and maybe then go whitewater rafting in the afternoon. Then they said, we actually want you to use it as a camera for photographs. And I thought, do you really want me to try this? Because after all, it's an action camera, right? And we know these can't take photographs. Cue the intro. I mean, I've had some very moderate success with my Osmo Pocket 3 taking photographs, but that was 9 megapixel images, and it took a lot of editing to get something that I was even just remotely proud of. But anyway, you know me, I'm always up for a challenge, and we're going to give it a go. Now before we start, I just want to let you know that Insta360 did send me the Ace Pro 2 and the Explorer grip. They've had no input into this video, and all of these thoughts are my own, the good ones and the bad ones. So where do we kick off? Everybody now knows what an action camera looks like. It's small, it's squarish, and it sticks about absolutely everywhere. Your helmet, your dashboard, whatever you want to do with it. And that to me was the first problem, because how do you take a photograph with something that is basically just a tiny little cube-like object? Now one of the things I hate about going out and taking photographs with my mobile phone is the form factor of that too. Now whilst the iPhone can take amazing photographs, it is still very difficult to hold. So here it is, the Ace Pro 2 itself, and the Explorer grip. This setup is just incredibly well thought through, and basically all you have to do is you slide the Ace Pro 2 in, plug in the USB, close the cage, and that's it. Now the only drawback is, at the moment, now that it's in the cage, it's not fully waterproof. It's weather sealed, but I would take that out and drizzle. I wouldn't be going diving off the back of a boat for bottles of champagne, especially with this in your hand. Now the great thing is, once this thing is attached, it starts to feel like a small compact travel camera, and that is really pleasing. The grip itself feels great in the hand, and there are two main controls within easy reach of your fingers. You've got the shutter button up front, and then you've got a dial at the back where your thumb sits. You can basically customise that dial to do whatever you want, and I've got mine set up to control the shutter speed because it gives me a faster way to react to changes in the light. Also, under the shutter button, there's a little rocker switch, and that's what you can use to zoom in and to zoom out up to 2 times, and you don't lose any quality when you do that in certain modes. So basically, it feels much more like a camera. It's far more tactile. There's even a wrist strap if you want even more support, but I really don't feel like this is going to fall out of my hand at any time, unlike when you hold it when it's in its cube form. But what I like most is that it stopped feeling like a gimmick very quickly, and it started to feel like a proper little camera. But then again, how a camera feels in the hand, whilst very important, is not why we take photographs. We have to look at what the camera itself can actually do. So I found myself asking myself, why did Insta360 go to all this trouble of creating all of the attachments, and we haven't even talked about the additional lenses that you can put on this? That's right, this is an action camera now with interchangeable lenses, and the scope for that is incredible. And one of the reasons I think Insta360 have put this out is because the action camera itself is a very capable unit, especially when it comes to taking stills, because it can shoot 50 megapixel files, and you can shoot in both JPEG and DNG RAW. If you use the 2x zoom, you're effectively cropping in, but because the starting resolution is so high, you still have a very capable file to work with. It has built-in Leica color profiles, it has its own Insta360's color profiles, and it has a 1/1.3 inch sensor, which is paired with a Leica engineered lens. The Explorer Grip Pro also gives you additional battery power, so you can stay out for longer without needing to worry too much about that. Okay, now I need to admit, when I first went out with this, I really started to struggle with the fact that it is so super wide. And as a photographer, I tend to shoot somewhere between the 35 to 70mm range for the majority of my shots. So going as wide as this, which is a 13mm full frame equivalent, is incredibly wide. I do have a 15 to 35 lens, which I've talked about on my channel before, but I very rarely find myself shooting right at the 15mm end of that, because it makes everything in the frame look so small. So the way to get around that is to make sure you get close to your subject. And it's very similar here using the Ace Pro 2. I found that I did use the 2x zoom to help me frame my shot, but because I was shooting in RAW, it doesn't permanently crop the file in the same way that a baked in JPEG look would. And when you take the file back into your computer at home, you still have more flexibility to crop creatively. I pretty much started to get into the hang of it because I remembered all the rules of shooting wide, which is to bring in the foregrounds, get close to your subject, and use your feet to zoom if you don't have the capability on the camera, and then start composing your images around those premises. And after a short while of getting used to where the buttons were and how the system worked, I started to get a couple of images that I was kind of proud of. Now I always shoot in RAW, whether it's with my Canon or whether it's with this, because I like to take control of the edit once I'm back in the studio. But this isn't necessarily aimed at folk like me. This is aimed more at people who want to go on holiday and they want a system that they can go diving with one day, jump out of a plane with the next day, or then go for a leisurely walk with a camera in their hand to capture the photographs that they see in that day. And they might not have the capabilities of doing editing, and therefore they just want good looking photographs. And this delivers on that in spades. So yeah, the quality of this thing is far better than I thought it was going to be, because when they initially asked me to do this, I was very reluctant because I didn't think I'd be able to do it justice. It's fair to say that I'm pleasantly surprised, and Insta360 are obviously very proud of what this little unit can do. So I've mentioned the additional lenses, and there are 3 that came with this kit. They're the ultra wide lens, the cinematic lens, and the close-up lens. Now I will cover the cinematic lens in a follow-up video because I wanted to save this more for video work rather than for using it for taking stills, although you can absolutely do that if that's what you want to do. So the one that I looked at was the close-up lens, and you can see here from just a couple of shots how good the detail and colour representation is on that. And just a note on that, when it comes to changing the lenses, they're nice and tightly screwed on, but once you've changed the lens over, you do need to go into the settings and tell the camera which lens is now attached. It would be nice if it did this automatically, but when you look at the price of the kit here, it's understandable that maybe some savings have been made to keep this as affordable as possible. So they're really well made. I love the little rubber cases that they come in as well. You know that they're not going to get scratched and they're going to be well protected. They feel a little bit heavy in the hand and they're snug and tight when they go on the camera. I have full confidence that when they're on, they're not ever going to fall off and there's no water and dust that's going to get in behind them. So again, supremely well made. So after using this for a couple of weeks, what would I change about it? And there are definitely a few things. I've covered most of them throughout the video, but let's just recap because some of them are really important. One, it does shoot very, very wide. And for some, that might be a struggle. It would be nice if one of the lenses that they make in future could offer a more standard or longer focal length option, because I think that would make this infinitely more usable for people like myself who, whilst we're landscape photographers, tend to dip in between street photography, landscape photography, and everything in between. Number 2, again, to do with the changeable lenses, it would be really nice if when you do that, they automatically updated the system and it knew what lens you were now using. Number 3, and one of the biggest things, is that when you take an image with this camera, it does take a moment before you can take the next image, especially if you're shooting large files, 50 megapixels. If you're a landscape photographer, this isn't the biggest problem in the world. But just imagine if you're a wildlife photographer or you're a street photographer and you've been waiting for somebody to walk across your scene. The fact that this takes up to 2 or 3 seconds in between each image before you can take another one can be frustrating. There is a dedicated burst photo mode available, but obviously that's more situational and not really the way I'd personally want to shoot with this all the time. But this, it's fun, it's compact, and it's easy to carry, and you will always have a camera with you. It does fit in your pocket. It's supremely well made, and it's got a really interesting ecosystem around it. It's got the interchangeable lenses, and the scope for what that could bring out in the future is really only limited by Insta360's imagination. There's a cold shoe mount on the top, so you can put accessories on it, and I think that this little ecosystem has a ton of potential. So again, thanks to Insta360 for sending me through the bundle. I've had a ton of fun using it, and if you've got one or you're thinking about picking one up, I'd love to hear from you in the comments to let me know what you think. And if you are thinking about picking one up, then there is a spring sale on at the moment. It's just coming to an end, but never mind, because if you use the link in the video, you'll get a further discount off it. All things up front, I will get a little bit of a kickback, but you'll get the best price for the camera. And rumour is, in April, the price of the camera and the unit is going to permanently come down. So there's lots to love about that at the moment. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.